thank you for coming through to business. Really pleased that you've chosen that as your potential pathway for sixth form. And I thought I would just explain a little bit about it. I haven't done a PowerPoint because it's easier. You see quite a lot of PowerPoints in these kind of things. So I thought we'd do a bit face to face. So for Year 12 business, the qualification we offer is called a national diploma. And it's equivalent to 2 A-levels. So it's level 3, exactly the same as A-levels are. And this qualification is equivalent to 2 A-levels. Now, the reason we've chosen that rather than the 3 A-level option is because all of our students here at UTC do some maths. So you'll either be doing A-level maths or an AS level in core maths. We feel as a specialist science and technology and engineering school that mathematics is it's a subject that all of our employers want. So we ask all of our students here to do an AS level in core maths, and the majority of our students who are doing business also pick up extended project. So there you've got 2 A-levels worth of business and then a 3rd A-level equivalent with the 2 AS levels. Now, some students also take another A-level alongside their business. Really happy to talk about that. We can timetable in most things. So come and speak to me if you think that's something you'd like to do. So business is, well, it's a great subject, obviously. I'm biased. It is because it's a level 3 national diploma, 50% of your assessment is by exams and the other 50% is using coursework or some sort of task or some kind of assignment. So you are really being tested in terms of your ability to learn things in a quite a traditional way, as well as your ability to do things. So a good example is all of our students do quite a big exam called personal and business finance. So students know sometimes more than their parents actually about debt, about personal debt, credit cards, how they work, as well as business debt and being able to read business financial documents. So they can read about profit and loss, they can read balance statements, really key skills. And that is an exam. So that's sort of quite a traditional thing. If you then switch over to one of the more practical things that our students do, one of the units is called managing an event. And the students work in groups and they put on an event, they run it for real. They collect all sorts of information about how it went and they're assessed on their ability to do that. So there's lots and lots of planning and students love it because they get to go out and talk to businesses and get sponsorship and do some marketing and use social media to make the event a success. They then run the event and then they reflect on how that went. So one example of a sort of very formal, learning kind of assessment, and then on the other side, the next minute, we can be doing something which is hugely practical. And that's really what I like about business. So even though you are choosing to specialise in one subject area, you're actually getting experience of doing it on the ground and also preparing for that sort of academic rigour. So then I thought I'd just tell you about what our students do with business. So the majority of them still choose to go to university, although there's a couple that are thinking about postponing the university and perhaps taking up an apprenticeship opportunity. Again, the fact that they already understand about business finance, they understand about international business, they understand about economics, that makes them highly employable. So by choosing business, you are opening yourself up to several different routes when you've finished in school. And of course, there's no reason why in this day and age we all have to be flexible. You couldn't start doing some work and then choose to go to university later. So this qualification is in your back pocket for the rest of your life, and you can take it out and use it as and when you need to. One of the questions I'm often asked is which unit do students like the best? It has to be the marketing. Marketing is something you're subjected to all the time, that you are the sort of core market for marketing messages. If you think about your social media feeds and how that works, and students really enjoy getting to grips with marketing and how it works and the impact of it. So again, it's a sort of mix of assessment, a little bit practical, a little bit in the exam. But it's the one thing that the majority of my students then choose to do if they apply for university. So that's in a nutshell, that's business. It's like I said, it's a very sort of practical subject. You can do whatever you like with it at the end. There is a Q&A bar. If you would like to ask any questions about business, then I'm going to put it up so you can ask me anything I haven't covered and I'll happily help you. If not, shortly I'm going to return you back to listen to some student voice in the main room. The other thing I thought might be helpful is just to talk to you about resources. So if you're just doing business, the good news is you don't require any overalls or safety equipment. I have a class set of textbooks. The best resource you can have is your enthusiasm, your common sense and your ability to embrace technology. Most of my students will use a device in the lessons because I quite often say, right, 5 minutes, go and find out about this or tell me what this company does. So being comfortable to come into the lessons with your laptop, or if you decide to use a UTC device, you can pay a deposit and have use of a Chromebook whilst you're here as a student. But definitely that professional, as you would in a meeting, if you're in a business meeting, people will get out their Chromebooks or get out their devices and, add to that discussion. So the only thing you need to bring is your enthusiasm and as I said, a willingness to perhaps learn in a slightly different way, in a more independent way. On our website, I have set up some sixth form transition work, which actually gets you started on the first topic. So if you are keen to get going, if you're bored of being in lockdown and enjoying yourself in the sunshine, then you can log on to UTC Oxfordshire's website, look at sixth form transition, click on the link for business. And I set a couple of tasks there just to give you a flavour of what it is we're going to do. So please do try those. And then we will obviously build on that as we go through the course. So I'm just going to ask my producer Vicky, are there any questions that I haven't missed? Vicky, no, can't see anything. No, so nobody has any questions yet, which is fine. I'm assuming you're all happy with your choices. As I said, business is a great thing. If you think you might like to do an A-level alongside it, then that's fine. If we can timetable it in and you qualify, then you'd be very welcome to do that. Just one other thing I can tell you is that when you complete your qualification, instead of A to E, which is what you have for an A-level, you will be given 2 grades because it's equivalent to 2 A-levels, and the grades will range from pass, merit to distinction. So if you get a pass, that's about a grade D at A-level. Fine qualification, you could still go to university with passes, different sorts of courses. If you get a merit, then we're looking at around about a C, possibly a low B grade. And if you get a distinction, that is an exact equivalent to an A grade. So this year in business, all of my students, the lowest grades that they came away with were DM, so A, low B grade, and the majority of them got DD. So that's 2 A's at A-level. So I think that's a great thing to walk away from your sixth form experience with, and it will give you lots and lots of choices and opportunities in the future. So if nobody has any questions, can I ask you to press the little red phone, hang up on this conversation, and please join the main conversation. Sadly, it will be me you see again. So if you can come back into the main meeting, I'm going to introduce you to Richard to talk about our employer-led project, and also I'm going to run through some sort of FAQs with you before we wrap up the session. So thank you for finding out more about business, and I very much look forward to welcoming you in September.